everybody, how's it going? It's Jamie the Crafty DIY Guy. Welcome to my channel. Now, we know when you walk into a Dollar Tree, there are tons of different gift wrapping options. Not only can you get wrapping paper and ribbon, but you can also incorporate ornaments, gift bags, and all kinds of things to create some beautiful, beautiful presents. And I'm going to show you some of my favorite ways to wrap gifts in this video. All right, everyone, and for the first present I am going to wrap, this is going to have a Grinch theme to it. I found this gorgeous starburst paper. I saw this elf ornament and knew I needed to incorporate it, these LED lights and this green ribbon. The very first thing I did was just wrap my package. Now, I will say that I think that the Dollar Tree gift wrap is getting a little bit better. Usually I found that the gift wrap from Dollar Tree is very, very thin, but this actually was pretty thick. I was pretty impressed with it, and this particular one I really like. Now, I just kind of wrap my presents the way that I was always taught. I'm not here to show you how to wrap the actual boxes, so that's kind of why we're going into warp speed here. However, I am going to show you how to accessorize some of them. So I am taking some wired ribbon. This is a large spool of red wired ribbon that I did pick up at Dollar Tree, and I am going to make sure that this ribbon goes around all four sides of my box. Now, to do that, all I'm going to do is kind of even up my two ends here, and then I'm going to tie it in a kind of a crisscross, and then I'm going to wrap it around the front. Pretty standard issue. I think most people probably do their presents very similarly. I can't talk. I guess I've got the Christmas something going on. Anyway, now that I've got my bow all set up and ready to go, I'm actually not going to cut away any of that excess. I'm just going to kind of keep it for right now, but I am going to kind of flip this over and kind of straighten out the sides there, making sure that everything looks nice and pretty before we move on to the next step. Now, for that next step, I'm going to take this curly Q ribbon. I loved this pop of green. I thought it went really, really well with the gift wrap. And what's cool about this is that bow I can use for something else. Also, this has that adhesive bottom on it, which is great. I'm going to peel that away, and then I'm going to tuck it under that knot that I've kind of created in the top of my present. Now that I've got that all set up, it's time to take those elf legs, and I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of hot glue. It's not so tiny, but I think you get the idea. And I'm going to tuck it under the knot there, making it look like the Grinch is going inside my package trying to open it up. Now I'm going to take my curly Q bows, and I'm just going to kind of, or curly Q ribbons, and I'm going to make a bow with my wired ribbon. This is another reason why I love working with wired ribbon when I'm wrapping packages, because it does make it look like a bow. Now I'm going to go ahead and just trim off any of my excess pieces here and create something that looks kind of like ribbon. Now, these LED light strings, you know the Grinch is digging around under your Christmas tree and trying to steal your gifts. So I'm going to take this LED necklace and just kind of string it through, and boom, Grinch-inspired package. Now, for the next one, this is the Joy wrapping paper that I picked up at Dollar Tree, and I originally started off with just wanting to do one roll of this gold ribbon. Now, that did have a $3 price point on it because this was from the Dollar Tree Plus section. I originally wanted to just do one wrap of this kind of gold ribbon. So you'll see I end up switching it up and end up doing two, and I'll tell you where I kind of goofed here a little bit. So I took some poinsettias and I snipped them with my lineman pliers. You saw that all 6 of those stems cut at once. I also have some holly stems here doing the same exact thing, and then I'm going to divide them up. It ends up being, I think, 5 pieces of each. So I did one bundle of 4 to where it had a couple poinsettias and a couple of the holly berries. Then I did another set, same exact way, and all I'm going to do is bring them together like so, and then add some Scotch tape to the kind of the center part there, because I want them to obviously stay together. So I'm going to do 2 bundles of these, and then you're going to have a holly berry and a poinsettia left over. Now, this is kind of where I went a little wonky. I thought, okay, I'm going to add another row of ribbon here. I didn't really want to cut away the ribbon that I had already placed on there. So I just ended up scotch taping this down. I will tell you that this did not hold. You will have to end up using some packing tape or just go ahead and tie it again. Now that I've got my poinsettia bundles, I'm going to just kind of fluff them up a little bit here. And I'm just kind of doing this because I also taped together the two bundles that I created to kind of create a swag. And what I'm doing now is just gluing this down right on top of the package itself. And then for those extra couple pieces that I had left over, I'm just going to tuck those into the side and boom, sweet, sweet, cute present that I love. This next one is going to be something that is going to be for my dad. I'm going to use this gift bag, these ornaments, and some of this tube mesh ribbon. Now, for the gift bag itself, I wanted to just kind of open it up and play with it because I thought it was really pretty. And for the extra gift bag that came, I am going to use that to help me create my bow. So I'm just going to wrap some of this tube mesh ribbon around there until I have about the thickness that I want. And then I'm going to cut it and just kind of slide it off. Then I'm going to take it and just simply tie it in a knot in the middle, kind of creating like a bow tie effect. I love working with this tube ribbon. I use this tube ribbon a lot. I really love the one that comes in the burlap kind of color because that one you can use all year long. Now, you can go ahead and fluff this out a little bit now if you want to, or you can wait until it's on the bag. Now, I am taking some of my hot glue because I am going to take that tube ribbon and make sure that it is nice and narrow because I am going to thread my Christmas tree ornament onto my tube ribbon, kind of like you see me doing here. I could have just tied it on there with the ornament string, but I thought that it was just a little too long. Now that I've got that all set up and fluffed out, I'm loving the way this is looking. So I'm going to apply this to my bag. To do that, I'm just going to once again use some hot glue. I'm just going to glue this down and hold this into place. You're just going to have to hold it for a few seconds and it will not bleed through the bag. And when you're done, you've got the cutest little gift bag. This next gift idea is gnome inspired. I'm going to use that white wrapping paper and I will tell you, you will want to use a double layer of that white. I also grabbed this great bow, this great ribbon, and also this very cute ornament that I found all at Dollar Tree. I also incorporated some of this red tube ribbon that you saw me use in the earlier project. So once again, taking my bow, learning from my previous mistake, and going around and just kind of wrapping my gift just like normal here. I like my gifts to be a little bit of a challenge for people to get into. Now I'm going to also just kind of straighten out that bow. Another great thing about that wired ribbon is that it makes it really, really easy to do. I love this particular bow that I'm putting on here now. Again, it's got that great adhesive back. I'm able to just apply it right below the knotted area of my ribbon there. And then for the tube ribbon, I'm just going to cut off a couple different strings of it and I am going to layer it crisscross underneath the bow and underneath the ribbon that I tied onto the actual present itself. And then I am going to take it and I'm going to tie it in a knot down the middle of this, and you can spread this around and make sure that you're not getting your curly cues involved in that. And then all you have to do is take your ornament. For this one, I'm just going to clip it and then I am going to tie it right around the ribbon itself, creating a very cute present once again for someone that not only incorporates this great ornament, but also a very cutely wrapped gift. I love this one. And for my last gift idea, I'm going to be taking this snowflake patterned wrapping paper, this gold metallic ribbon, and this snowman nose. I thought it was a Rudolph nose, but it was on a snowman. I'm really confused. After wrapping my package, of course, now I'm going to take my ribbon and I'm going to take one of each color. And I am just pulling this evenly until I have a very, 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 very long piece. And then I'm going to cut it off and I am going to wrap it around my package just like I have done all of the previous packages. And again, just kind of wrapping this around, tying it all together in the center into a knot. And we are going to then take our green curly Q. Now with this one though, before we do the curly Q, you will want to tie this in a knot because this will slip off of your package. I actually had to retie this because it did slip. Now that I've got my curly Q ribbon all in place, I am going to then take the nose and I'm going to stretch it around the package because it doesn't have to be cut. It actually fit perfectly around the package. And I'm just going to nestle it there in the middle. And then for those extra kind of pieces of ribbon, the metallics, I'm going to cut them off in various lengths. And I pulled them all to one side and I'm just kind of cutting them. And now I'm kind of pulled them back through, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to kind of curly Q them. And now the way that I'm doing that is with a dull pair of scissors so I don't cut myself. Now, when it's all done, this is what it looks like. And again, I think that this is super fun, especially with that Rudolph Snowman Nose. Now, obviously, you can wrap your gifts in a lot of different ways. Dollar Tree provides a lot of very cool gift wrapping options. And I love the way that these are sparkling and getting attention under the tree. In fact, they're getting so much attention that in my household, the little kitty is sneaking out and he's wanting to figure out which one of those gifts are for him because, you know, he knows all about Santa and Christmas and gifts. And, you know, maybe he's been a good enough boy this year. All right, everyone, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you did, let me know in the comments which theme was your favorite. I think the Grinch theme was probably my favorite one for sure. That one's going to my mom. And I also wanted to say thank you guys so much for being a subscriber of mine. I truly, truly appreciate it. Whether you're an OG, which is the original gang, whether you're an NG, which is the new gang, or you're somewhere in the middle, thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I hope that you have a blessed and amazing holiday. Thank you guys so much.